exciting news. Season 3 of Meet the Redmonds podcast launches June 2nd. Join us, Marq and Bev Redmond, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. EST on Facebook, YouTube, and OCPI TV for inspiring conversations about faith, family, and marriage. Hey, everybody, it's Bev.
And it's Marq.
And we are
the Redmonds.
Welcome to another edition of Meet the Redmonds. We're talking everything today, life, love, and Christian marriage. And in fact, we're talking about the myths around Christian marriage. Babe, there are a lot of things out there.
Right. We're going to give you 10 myths about Christian marriage, but we're only going to give you 5 today, and then we're going to give you 5 next week.
Yeah.
I want to start off by saying that I miss my wife. We've been away now for about 2 weeks, but I'll be home in about a week, and I'll be home for about 10 days before I'm coming right back to Chicago. But we're going to try to get in some quality time for those 10 days. We might do a couple of episodes, but we're going to really enjoy each other. Mm-hmm. And we're going to debunk some of these myths about Christian marriage when we see each other too.
Yes.
Right.
We'll just.
All right. So, Christian marriage.
Yes.
A lot of things have been said, passed down from generations. You may have heard some things from your mom. You may have heard some things from your grandma. All kinds of people probably gave you advice. So we're going to try to debunk some of these rumors and myths. And I think the first one we're going to do is myth number 1.
What's myth 1?
And we'll put these at the bottom of the screen so you'll see them. Love is all we need.
Love is all we need. Okay, is it you or me first?
It's you.
Well, definitely love is all we need is a myth. Yes, you need love at the foundation, and God is love. All of those things are very true, but you also need some work. You need some finance. You need some relationship. You need quality time. You need a lot of things in marriage. And love and Christian marriage doesn't mean that you just sit there and say sweet nothings to each other all the time. So definitely love is all you need. No, you need some love plus.
Yes. Please don't go in thinking that, the googly eyes that you made when you were dating your spouse, and that's just going to carry on into marriage, and you are just going to ride these waves of love to endless bliss. Doesn't work like that. You need more than love.
Yes. Oh, when did you figure out with us love is more? You needed more than love.
Time where I forgot to pay the gas bill and the gas got cut off and it was cold.
I didn't not love you, but I was really hard pressed to not take myself to a hotel and just stay there. Mm-hmm. But no, I never thought about leaving or doing anything. Marriage, Christian marriage, can be as dramatic as anything else. It depends on how you are really working that marriage. And there are times when you feel like you're testing each other. Truth and honesty this week for us was not our greatest.
Right.
It was tough, but love is not all you need, but love sure does make coming back together when issues arise a lot sweeter and a lot easier. And it helps you remember why you do what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you already told me if I ever have a mistake or make a mistake like that again and forget to pay a bill and something gets cut off, I don't think love is going to help me too much. I'm going to be in the doghouse. So yes, love is good, but love is not the do all, be all, or cure all of a marriage.
But love is a great motivator.
Yep.
It keeps you moving.
Actually, I got some scripture references, about love and marriage. And the first one's going to be Ephesians 5 and
Mm-hmm.
25 to 33. So I will put down some snippets of that Bible verse that talks about love and marriage a little bit.
Yep,
Okay.
you're on the editing train this time, so
Yes.
all of the word work is on you, the captions and stuff, all on
Mhm.
you this week.
That's all right. So if I put some extra little bells and whistles, you know why.
He was left
Okay.
alone. Yes. All
All
right.
right.
What's myth number 2?
Number 2, we are soulmates. That
um,
made you cough.
I'm also recovering from the flu, so
Right.
when you make me laugh, it is going to bring up a cough. Um, Christian marriage means you're automatically soulmates.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I don't know that I believe in soulmates. Do you?
No, not really.
Were
I
we
knew
made for each other?
you can be made for somebody, but
Uh-huh.
not be your soulmate. I
You
mean,
can be a good fit.
I knew that you were the type of woman that I wanted to marry. You had
Hmm.
all the qualities and characteristics that just lined up for me. Oh boy, here we go. But were you my soulmate? I'm like you. I don't necessarily believe in a soulmate.
I don't know. That one I do agree that there's some love stories out there that just look
Mhm.
like they have spanned the test and years of time, and people who met in their high school years or their grade school years and they're still married, or people who have parted or been separated but find themselves back together as a couple. Those are wonderful stories, but I don't know that that's everybody's story. Um, I believe you work on your soul. I believe you work on yourself. I believe you work on your marriage.
Mhm.
And people can be great fits for each other. And I think we happen to be, and fortunate that our paths cross. So if there's any soul power to it or soulmate, I don't know. Would we have met without God moving?
Yeah, I think God moved us in the right direction for us to be together.
I mean,
But
literally, we were not in the same city.
right. But does that
Yeah.
make us soulmates?
Maybe by somebody's definition. I think God certainly moved. God had his hand. But it's certainly, you have to be in it to win it. You don't just get it and keep it like that.
Now I think you can grow into someone being your soulmate, but I don't think you
Hmm.
just right off the bat, or you see each other in a crowded room and oh, that's the one for me. I don't think that happens. I think after being with somebody, I think you can develop into
I would
being
have
a
noticed you
soulmate.
across a room.
Huh?
I would have noticed you across a room.
Cause I was cold. So of course you could notice me across the room. That didn't make you cough, did it?
It,
But I mean, yeah, just like I would have noticed you across the room. You're
of
6 feet
course you would
tall.
have, because I am cold.
Oh, don't steal my lines. But I mean, I would have saw you across the room too. A 6 foot tall brick house, of course. But does that make you my soulmate?
Absolutely.
No, it couldn't. You could have had a rotten personality,
Oh, yes, I could have.
right?
You
So
could have been
I
you could
don't
have
think,
been arrogant and cocky.
which I am, but still, I don't know. You know what? Maybe this is something we got to do a little bit more research. What is a soulmate?
Is there such a thing?
Right. I
I'm on
think
the
that
fence.
I am too. I think a soulmate is something you grow into.
Hmm.
Now I can say, yes, you're my soulmate. But 10 years ago, when we first met, I don't think we were soulmates. We were a
I,
good fit.
we were a good fit, highly compatible, cared about each other, loved each other. Uh, we had a good time together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we were committed, are committed to each other, but soulmate, maybe I just don't have enough fairy tale in me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Or
But
maybe,
somebody argue us,
yeah,
debate us.
please.
Are you a soulmate? So maybe we leave that as a question mark.
Yeah. Is the person you married, is that your soulmate?
Hmm.
Or did you grow into being soulmates?
I
Because
think
remember,
so.
we almost didn't make it past a date number 2. So I don't think soulmates have those kind of issues. I think, again, like you said, I'm on the fence with
Now,
soulmates.
why are you telling the good people our business
Hey, I'm sorry.
like that?
I apologize.
Just because I almost gave up after date 2. I mean,
Now you made me mad, but we'll talk about that, people. Later
that's
episodes.
an off camera or next episode story.
Yeah, I'll tell
Uh,
you what she did. Did
how I
almost
sent my soon to be betrothed packing. That's what it was.
whatever. Okay, myth number 3.
Uh-huh.
Prayer conquers all.
Well, now you got to submit to prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you remember Bozo Circus?
Mm-hmm.
Wizzo the clown? Like,
Right.
noonie, 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 noonie. Prayer is not noonie, noonie, noonie.
Right.
Is not magic in it that you,
Like
oh
you just
my
sprinkle it
goodness.
over your spouse, and all the fighting and arguing that you've done has just disappeared.
I think I will say I do love some blessed oil. I pray for you, oil, all of that. But yes, and the scripture does say pray without ceasing. Make your requests known unto God. And the way we do that is through prayer. And I do believe that the effectual, fervent prayers of a righteous man, woman, avails much. 100%. When you can't get through to your spouse, God is your advocate. God is your place to go. That said, again, when you're in the throes of an argument, we one thing that my husband hates that I do if I'm in the argument, if I hit him with a Bible verse in the middle of an argument, that babe,
That ain't fair. That's not fair.
because I would have got God.
That ain't fair.
Why?
Because it's
Oh,
not. That's
all
hitting
right.
him
So
in the bill.
what do you say about prayer? Myth or
Like you
not?
said, prayer can conquer all, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that as Christians we go to that as, okay, this didn't work out. This didn't work out. Prayer has to be the thing that works this out.
Um,
I think prayer is used in conjunction with some other methods to, turn the tide of a disagreement in a marriage. But
I believe prayer softens hearts. I
mhm,
believe prayer fixes things. I remember one pastor's wife said, either God will fix me, God will fix him, or God will change the situation. So I believe that's powerful. But for people who just think, oh, I'm just going to go pray about it and I'm not going to do anything about it, mm, you're going to have to put in all of these myths, there's elbow grease and intention that has to go behind every one of these things, including prayer.
that's a
Now,
good point. Good point.
once you pray and God gives you answers, you need to go and do, or God softens that person's heart, changes your direction or course. You need to follow. You need to move. It's not just pray, set it and forget it. I guess that's the best way.
Like the chicken, like the little rotisserie chicken thing, you put the chicken in, you set it
Set it
and
and
forget it.
forget it.
But
Yes,
what you're trying to say
infomercial.
is you just can't say, let's pray and pray over it, and then the situation just magically just dissipates.
Now, God performs miracles. we have been in situations, in surgeries. And I was like, God, bring my husband back to me. We've been in a lot of places where we did not always have the ability to pray, but and then we've had some where we have had the ability to pray. So I believe highly in prayer. I don't want to diss it or disrespect it, but it's not minute rice.
And it may take days of prayer, weeks of prayer. Just don't think you're going to say a prayer and then that discussion or that argument you had the night before, it may not be some lingering after effects.
Oh, but once you bring your leg on the other side of the bed, it's going to be right.
Yeah, because I'm cold, so I got to, my leg is cold, so I move that leg over to that big thigh. I'm good. Can't remember
Muscle
what we
memory.
argued about.
But you know what? What I really believe, hunger and lack of sleep cause a lot of arguments. Christian marriage or not, go get you some food and go get some sleep. It'll be better in the morning. It'll be better on a full stomach.
Absolutely. Okay, number 4. You kind of alluded to it when you said putting that leg on your thigh. Sex is not as important in a Christian marriage.
God ordained sex. I know y'all out there probably clutching your pearls.
Oh my God.
They're talking about sex. God ordained intimacy, God ordained sex. Don't withhold yourself from your spouse. Sometimes you do have to work at it more than others. What would you say the beginning of the relationship versus now, when you were just excited to see each other at every moment?
Yeah.
And now you know everybody's habits.
Right, but
You
sex
know,
and intimacy can be two different things,
Yes. Intimacy involves sex. It can lead to sex. It can the closeness, the nurturing of the closeness in the relationship is vital. I'm going to say sex is very important, but there are some moments, sometimes. What if your spouse is ill? What if your spouse is heck out of town? So you still have to cultivate intimacy. You still have to say, hey, honey, I really like that shirt. It brings out the green in your eyes. You look really handsome. I miss you. All of those things. Intimacy is super important. Just because you have God on your side and God is love, again, does not mean you get a free pass in the department. And that is not work. It's not an effort.
And I think sometimes people get lost in that. You can still be a Christian in a Christian marriage and still be sexy.
Yes.
In the eyes of your spouse.
I hope so. Yes.
I mean, now I don't want you going out in public wearing certain things that you know you shouldn't be wearing. Same here. But at the same time, you can still have sex appeal.
So attraction is very important.
I got a story, and I'm gonna tell this story. Remember when, I don't know if we were moving to Chicago or doing something, but you were folding up some clothes and you were folding it with your mother. You were folding clothes with your mother.
Oh, see, you put mama out there. Okay. Yeah.
It was some kind of nightgown or lingerie type thing that you.
It was, yes, keep going.
That your mother had grabbed, and she folded it up and looked at you and said, now this is something you wear in the house.
It was a more sheer kind of outfit.
I don't know if she said this is something you wear in the house or this is something you wear with during special time with Marq or something she said, and it just made you laugh.
One, like I didn't know that, and I love my mama. My mama's a teacher always, a mother always, and she wanted to prepare me uh, and told me, now this is more of an intimate outfit. This is not something that you go walking down the street in. Okay. I got you, mama. She broke my heart that day because I really thought I was going somewhere. I'm like, uh-uh.
This is this is where you this is something you wear with in special times with Marq.
I just folded my little thing and put it back in the box. Uh, Intimacy is important. Never tell anyone that it's not. I think intimacy can be generated through laughter, spending time, holding hands.
Sex between you and your partner is just that, between you and your partner. I don't think I've always been, and this is just me, and this is just not on the topic of sex, but I've always been a big fan of not running to the pastor all the time when people have problems in their marriage. And I've known people to go to the pastor and say, we got problems in the bedroom. I'm not cool with that. I just think that's something that you and your wife can work out.
Have a couple schools of thought on that. First, I don't want to turn people away from their pastor if they feel like that's an avenue that they need to go, but that's a joint avenue that you should use. I also am a big believer in pastors who are actually certified counselors, that they have some methodology behind their practice. I am also like you. I'm a private person. I don't want a chance that there are other people out in the congregation or in the church administration who know my business. That's, and I hate to feel like that, but I've just seen things over the years. I love my pastor. I do. And I don't want to scare people away from going to their pastor, but I think if intimacy would be something that we were working on or are working on, I would prefer, if we were getting help, that we find another Christian counselor to go to.
Good point. Now, there's other topics within the whole. What is this number? Is this number 4?
I think so.
But there are other topics within intimacy and sex that we could hit on, but we just don't have the time to do it because we got to move on to a number 5.
Before you go to 5, what do you think about Christians listening to romantic music?
It's cool. It's cool. I don't have no problem with it. If anybody says that you shouldn't listen to music while you're intimate, I think something's wrong with you. Certainly, music can, increase the mood.
There's songs that put you in the mind. It all doesn't have to add up to sex, but it does. There are songs that make me think about you and situations and life experiences that we've shared together. Or some songs are just really, they put love in a really great way.
Right. I gotta admit, when I think of you, I'm not thinking of Onward Christian Soldiers. I'm not. or Blessed Assurance. I just heard
Jesus
Blessed
is mine.
Assurance. I heard Blessed Assurance in church, and I just thought about Beverly. No. But if I hear the Whispers playing In the Mood, then yes, I'm in the mood.
A little Luther.
Right. So yeah,
little Anita.
I would love for somebody to comment on that no, you shouldn't listen to intimate music when you're having sex with your spouse.
Now, at our wedding, we couldn't play music that had words. We had to get the instrumentals because it was, um, I wouldn't say frowned upon, but
But I'm still cool with that.
mhm.
I'm still cool with that.
I was good with it. It was really easy to do. We just found jazz.
Right. Plus, we're from an era where the songs were more meaningful. I don't know if there's anything out now that represents romance.
There may be a few songs, but we don't really follow
Right.
artists that closely anymore. But definitely, music can be a mood setter. Playlists, all of those things are. Go take a drive with your spouse.
Right. All right. You got me coughing now. Number 5.
Mhm.
Christian marriage gets boring.
Somebody walked up to you like you're boring, and you're boring. Um,
Christian marriage gets boring or becomes boring.
if it's boring, it's because you made it that way.
Right. I don't know what people think Christians do.
I've
That
gotten funnier.
yeah, yeah. I don't know why people think that Christians only go to Bible study, prayer meeting, Sunday school, church, and back home.
I don't know why, but I'd find funny stuff in church all the time. Y'all should go
Yeah.
because
Well, I
it
just
is
think
entertainment. Uh-huh.
I think the fun that we have sometimes revolves around church, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times the fun that we have is the fun that we make.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes we laugh. I don't want to say at each other's expense, but you can't always take yourself so seriously. And when we first got married, I was Samantha serious about, but you really do have to just lighten your load. Go chill out. Go to a movie. Find things that you like to do.
But you know what? There are people that don't go to movies.
Absolutely. Find that thing that is your thing. There are Christian adventure trips. They're all and everything doesn't have to have the adjective of Christian in front of it. Go travel. Heck, do a puzzle. I don't know, but
but what I'm trying to say is everything that you do I want to say is for the glorification of God, or if just some things are just fun to do? I just don't think your soul is going to be condemned to hell.
I don't
Especially if I'm
either.
hanging out with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get out of here and we're going to leave with our catchphrase. It's not her way. I'm pointing the wrong way. It's not her way.
It's not his way. It's
the
Redmond way.
Peace.
Don't y'all like Mark's shirt? Exciting news. Season 3 of Meet the Redmonds podcast launches June 2nd. Join us, Marq and Bev Redmond, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. EST on Facebook, YouTube, and OCPI TV for inspiring conversations about faith, family, and marriage.